Guess what? It's Pride Month, but I'm not like other gays. I'm different. I really don't like soap operas or, of course, telenovelas, and I'm not the biggest fan of musicals unless they're animated. So, of course, I have never watched Rebelde, just because I feel like it's not something that I would particularly like, but it's one of those many things that I know of because Barbie has made dolls of that property. I actually cannot count the number of TV shows or celebrities that I would not know about if it wasn't for the fact that Barbie made dolls of them. Like, the only reason I know who Mary Osmond is because of Barbie. Hell, half of the Inspiring Women dolls, I've never heard of those people before until Barbie had came out with a doll honoring them. And Rebelde is actually one of those things. Because, of course, if you didn't already know, in the early 2000s, Mattel had already released dolls for the Rebelde TV show. And in honor of their anniversary, Mexican Barbie designer Angel Kent was in charge of designing the anniversary collection of Rebelde dolls for 2024, which is what I'm going to be looking at today. I do actually have one of the original Rebelde dolls from the early 2000s. I have a Roberta, who I'm going to be comparing with the new one. And I got all of these dolls, of course, not because I'm a huge fan of this series that I've never seen before, but because they are beautiful Barbie dolls. So here, if you can see this all in frame, this is the outside of the Multipack dolls box, and also a good look at the back of their packaging. Interestingly, the picture on the back of the box shows the Lupita doll with a front-facing screening, whereas the doll that actually comes in the box has a side glance, which is the reason why I wanted to get this one and not the individual Lupita, just because she uses the Teresa face sculpt and Mattel never gives Teresa a side glance. So I guess I will start out by looking at Mia, who seems to be the main character in this television show. Go figure, even in Latin America, the main character is, of course, the blonde one. I guess I should also mention that I ordered my multi-pack set from Amazon, and it retails initially at $100, so that's 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. So that's $20 per doll. And while these are incredibly beautiful dolls, they do have a lot of the little qualms that I have with modern Mattel dolls. The main thing being that, for the most part, all of these dolls have the UV resin pixel face, with the exception of one character, which we will talk about later on. So this is the multi-pack Mia. You can see that she uses the Lena face sculpt from Barbie Looks, which is different because the other two girls from this collection use the same face sculpts that Mattel used for them in the early 2000s. Like, Lupita uses Teresa and Roberta uses Laura, like they did originally. But Mia actually originally used the Summer face sculpt in the early 2000s. I think for the most part, everybody likes this change. I mean, personally, I love that he chose to use Lena on her, because in the Barbie Looks line, Lena is kind of seen as the Hispanic character in Wave 1 of Barbie Looks, and I really love that he chose to use it for this Latina character. It's so nice to see Lena along with these other more classic Latina Barbie head sculpts. But this is such a cool design. It's a lot more edgy than anything we get in modern Barbie playline. So I'll start from top to bottom. So she is wearing an incredibly adorable pink cowboy hat on top of her head. And this is probably the same sculpt that was used on the Margot Robbie Cowgirl Barbie, but I'm going to take it off real quick. As you can see, it does kind of leave an indentation of where it was in the box, but it fits really nicely, and we never get cowboy hats anymore in Barbie, so I really love that accessory. But as far as the facial screening, I actually ordered 3 of these sets just because I'm insane and I wanted to try to get as good of a facial screening as I possibly could. But would you believe it? The first set that I ordered from Amazon was the one that had the best facial screenings for like all the dolls, except for the boys. The boys were really messed up, and some of the ones that I got later on were actually a little bit better. But of course, the multi-pack Lena comes with a side glance, and I just think it looks so beautiful despite the pixelation. I love the pink eyeshadow, I love the detail on the eyebrows, I love her blue eyes, and I also love her lipstick color. She also has a star decal on her forehead, This one has a silver star decal, but the individual one has a red star. I'm not sure what this represents, so if anybody has seen Rebelde and knows why she has that on her forehead, like is it a tattoo or a sticker? I don't know. Um, you can let me know in the comment section, but you can also see that she comes with these little pearl drop earrings on the sides, and I wonder oh, actually, the earrings are removable. That is so awesome. I love that. That's how it should be from now on. I saw that some of the newer fashionistas were coming with removable earrings, so that actually makes me so happy. I wish that Barbie earrings were more interchangeable as like a permanent thing. But she comes with this beautiful saran hair. It's this blonde color. It's just like honey blonde and also this lighter shade of blonde. It's a blend of different blondes. Like the hair is so nice quality, and I love her skin tone. She comes with a like a tan complexion. It's basically the green tie-dye skin tone. And also the outfit that she comes wearing in the multi-pack is so cool. Like I love this little tube top or crop top and in the sparkly black fabric with these straps that crisscross around her neck. It's so awesome. And the pants match. The pants are made out of the exact same fabric with this little flare bell bottom at the bottom. And she is also wearing a really cool shoe sculpt. I think this might be the same sculpt that came with Simone from Barbie Looks, just smaller. It's fitted to the original size foot instead in this black color. I don't think that these shoes have been made in black yet, so that's really awesome. Like I said, I also have the individual pack version of Mia to look at today. So the individual pack dolls come wearing their, I guess, school uniforms, and I didn't get Roberta and Lupita just because I prefer the side glancing version of them, though Mia's looks significantly different than the multi-pack version of her. So I'll go ahead and open this one up so we can also look at this one. Okay, so here I have the individually packaged version of Mia straight out of her packaging, and I'm actually noticing that she has a little bit longer hair than the multi-pack version, and her hair is also more of a darker blonde than the multi-pack, which is kind of strange. But I got her mostly just because I loved how different she looked than the multi-pack one. Now, I know a lot of people have been making jokes about the facial screening. It kind of does look like that no Chick-fil-A sauce meme a little bit. I think it's mainly because her pupils are just so small. Like she almost looks shocked. It's just the expression that she has on her face. It's so funny. But yeah, she does have a front, like she's staring forward instead of to the side like the multi-pack version. And she also has bangs that are very gelled down. Whereas the multi-pack version just has a simple middle part, and she also has like more straight hair. The multi-pack version actually has some curls, and the individual package one actually does have a red star on her forehead instead. She of course also uses the Lena face sculpt just like the multi-pack version with the same exact skin tone. So if you wanted to get her a Made to Move body, she would match the green tie-dye Made to Move Barbie, which is now discontinued, so she might actually become a lot more difficult to find in the future. Now, for her outfit, she is wearing a different outfit, the school uniform, and of course this isn't as great quality as the uniforms that Mattel had made for them in the early 2000s. Like the sleeves don't have the cuffs that they did originally. The shirt underneath, it's not a long sleeve, it is just short sleeve, which I think in this case is actually better, because if it were long sleeve it would restrict some of the motion in her arms. Though I'll say I have seen a couple people who have got these and her collar is already starting to fray just because it's not finished at all, and that's super disappointing. I think the individual dolls are like $15 to $20 a piece, so that really should not be happening. Also, the shirt that she has, like the undershirt, does Velcro at the front. And she also comes with this adorable little red tie. And the tie is actually a full tie, and it is actually tied under the collar. So that's really cool. Kind of similar to the ones that came with the BTS dolls a couple of years ago. I really like the skirt that she comes with. It's really cute. I love the ruffle on the bottom. It's very simple. I could actually see myself using this in a restyle. And the shoes that she comes with are the same exact sculpt that came with the Stevie Nicks Barbie. So we've seen these shoes before in this color, but I can always use more boots in my collection. So let me know, do you prefer the individually packaged Mia or the multi-pack Mia? Now this one is definitely one of my favorites from this collection. And this is the Roberta doll from the multi-pack series. And I really wanted this one because in the 2000s, they never did a side-glancing version of this character, but now they did. And you'll notice that for some reason, probably because she was a designer's favorite character, Roberta actually does not use the DIJ pixel face. She actually does use the original tampograph, so her facial screening is not pixelated at all. So if you were to get any doll from this series, I definitely would recommend Roberta. You don't know how much I love seeing Barbie being edgy again. Like, I love her dark makeup. I love her eyebrows and her eyelashes. She actually has a painted nose ring. That's really cool. And I think for the most part, they basically copied the facial screenings from the early 2000 dolls. I mean, they can't look so similar just by coincidence. So this is one of the original Roberta dolls that I thrifted a while back, and you can see that the eye shape is very, very similar, and the eyebrows kind of have the same shape as well. The new one might have a little bit more detail, but something else interesting is that the newer version actually uses the original version of the Laura face sculpt, whereas the old version actually uses the early 2000s blown up version of the Laura face sculpt. So it's significantly bigger. I'm actually super happy about that. And we actually have got two dolls, including the Lunar New Year Barbie this year, that have used the original version of the Laura face sculpt, which I love. I mean, Laura's kind of having a resurgence this year. But I was never really happy with my original Roberta just because her eyes kind of look like they're either too big for the sculpt or like she's slightly wall-eyed, like they're just too spread apart. It just looks strange. And also, I wasn't in love with the Kanekalon hair that they originally came with. I definitely much more prefer this beautiful blend of saran that the new one comes with. She comes with this auburn saran with these red streaks going throughout. It's so, so cool. And I love how they actually cut her some bangs in the front. They do not like doing this with Barbie dolls anymore. And I would have loved to have heard the conversation that went on between the designer trying to convince them to let him do this sort of hairstyling again on a Barbie doll. Especially, sort of, I guess these would be considered playline Barbie dolls because, I mean, they're just like 20 bucks a piece. I don't really know if they're officially seen as collector dolls or not, but I love to see this again in Barbie. I wish that the Barbie fashionistas had more hairstyling like this again. I mean, she does have a little bit of box hair in the back, but I will definitely be fixing her up and completely restyling her. Her earrings are a little bit out of place. I feel like these little white hearts. I mean, they're cute and I'll definitely use them. I just feel like they don't really go with the rest of the outfits. And as for her outfit, she comes with this really, really cute mini dress. And I am sure that in real life, these were two separate pieces, but they are actually sewn together on the doll. So she comes with this cute little peace sign. It's supposed to look like a tank top. It's very cute. It's got some white stitch detailing at the front. Though that may actually be, oh no, it is actually stitching, so it's not just printed on. Like a pleather material with some red straps to keep it on the shoulders, and also a plaid skirt, really edgy early 2000s fashion. I mean, that's kind of when the series came out. And the skirt actually does have a ribbon stopper on the bottom to keep it from going too far up. And also, She has a glossy belt. I would have loved for this to be an actual like clippable accessory on her, but I understand that was probably out of the budget that they allowed him. They did allow for these really cool fishnet arm warmers. I'm sure in the TV series they were probably like gloves, like fishnet gloves, and it would have been cool if they were also like that on here. You might actually be able to poke or thumb through one of those holes and make them gloves if you wanted to. But I love that they tried, at least. And the shoes are also really cool. Now, this is the same shoe sculpt that was originally made for the anniversary Christie Barbie, though Christie's were orange. And Christie came on the Model Muse body, and these shoes were sculpted for the Model Muse body and not this Fashionista's body. So I think it's interesting that they decided to use this because they don't 100% fit this body sculpt because they do have different feet sizes and different leg shapes. But they work. I like that I have these shoes in black now, and I'll definitely pair them with some knee-high socks. And as for the third female doll in this set, we have Lupita, who uses the classic Latina Barbie face sculpt, the 1990s Teresa face sculpt. And despite the pixelation, I love this facial screening that they gave her. Like the side glance on Teresa is so, so cool. I love the eyebrow shape. I love that like subtle eyeshadow that she has, that dark smoky eyeshadow on her upper eyelid. I love her brown color of her eyes and also this almost shimmery lipstick color they gave her. They could have given her a little bit of lip liner, I feel like would have helped a little bit, just to make it feel more worth $100. But I do still love this sheer, almost pearlescent color of pink that they have on her lips. And she actually has a lighter complexion, so she, I believe, is going to be a good match for the Barbie looks Lena. Well, yeah, I mean, that's a pretty good, it's a pretty close match. So this is the Lena from the most recent wave of Barbie looks, and I believe I'm going to use her as a body donor for Lupita. And Lupita actually comes with dark black saran hair. I was a little bit worried about her hair because they've been giving a lot of the dolls with black hair polypropylene, but luckily none of the dolls in this set have polypropylene hair. The one change I might make to her is I might actually give her bangs. I know the character doesn't really have bangs, but because I'm using these as just Barbie dolls in my collection and not the characters that they were intended to be, it's fine. And I just feel like the original Teresa face sculpt looks a lot better most of the time when she does have bangs. Interestingly, not only did he use the original version of the Laura face sculpt, but for Teresa, he also decided to use the original version of the Teresa face sculpt. And this is the version that is smaller. It doesn't have the flattened out eyes. Like, it's got all the original sculpting that Teresa came with. From the 1990s, you can see that the trademark on the back is handwritten and not typed on, like the newer version has. And that's probably the reason why she has the DIJ pixelation, because they kind of have to do that with the newer dolls because the tampograph doesn't work as well when they have such deep sculpting on the eyes, which is really what surprises me about the Roberta doll, because she has her original eye sculpting, which is just as bad as Teresa's, and yet he gave her the tampograph. Whereas Lena, who basically has completely flat eye ridges, she also got the DIJ pixelation. Even though her eyes aren't as sculpted as Teresa's are, very strange decisions made in this line, but I'm sure there's a reason for all of them that we'll never know. So super happy that she comes with the original Teresa face sculpt with saran hair, and she does also have a unique earring sculpt as well, a square gemstone white earring sculpt that is different than Roberta's. And her outfit that she is wearing is also really cute. She comes with this metallic pink mini dress. Love mini dresses. I just love the fashion in this line. And the mini dress has a sort of like almost like marbled, abstract pink, black, and white metallic fabric. It's really cool. It's got this really awesome lace at the top with these black ribbon straps. This one actually does not have a ribbon stopper on the bottom, but it does have these two layers of ruffles on the bottom, which is really cool. Velcro's on the back, and the lace goes all the way around. And she also uses the same Stevie Nicks boot sculpt that the individually packaged Mia came with. So now I have two more copies of these boots, which I'll definitely use. I mean, I might end up painting one of them. So I'm super happy with the female dolls in this line. Now on to talking about the boys in this collection. Now, we did get two male dolls in the multi-pack that are exclusive to the multi-pack, so if you want them, you have to get all of the rest of the dolls together. So this guy's name is Giovanni, and here is what he looks like straight out of the packaging. Now, the male dolls come with a lot of really cool clothing pieces, but I will start out by talking about his face. So he does use a Barbie Fashionista's face sculpt. This sculpt does not have an official name, but a lot of websites are just referring to it as like the Mohawk Ken face sculpt. And this face sculpt was originally depicted as being Asian, but you can see that they now have released a Latino version of him as well. I really love this face sculpt just because I think mohawks look really cool. And he actually does come with a pink colored mohawk, which is adorable. We have got a Barbie Fashionista with this face sculpt in the past that had pink highlights. But that Barbie Fashionista, I don't believe had a fade on the side. So they actually did like spray this hair to be like a fade. It's like kind of like a bald fade. This is what I usually get when I get a haircut. Starts bald and just gets longer and longer and longer. I think it's really, really cool. Though, unfortunately, the original one that I received from Amazon does have really, really bad wonkai, which is just proof right here that even with the DIJ pixelation, dolls can still come wonky. This is a completely different screening than what he originally came with. His features are a lot darker. His eyebrows are a lot darker. His skin tone is also, of course, a lot more tan than what he originally came with. Now, onto his clothes. He does have a undershirt that is made out of this soft cotton material, and it is a full piece. Like, these pieces are not sewn together. They are just kind of like got little plastic tabs keeping them all together. But I feel like this is a nice, simple piece that will be useful for any Ken doll wardrobe. And he also comes with this cropped tan vest that is actually really nicely made. It's really well constructed. It is finished all the way around. Even the collars on this are finished, which I appreciate. And he does have a pink tie that is kind of sewn to the vest, but I guess you could take it off. Like I said, not seen the show, but I'm sure that this is an important part of this character. Otherwise, they would not have included it. He also comes with some brown pants. Love these. I will definitely use these pants. They're really nicely made. Other than the fact that they do not have any sort of pocket stitching or anything, which is unfortunate. And he also comes with some regular black Ken sneakers that do have painted white bottoms, so I'll give them that. The other guy that was included in this set is Diego, and he actually uses a very rare Ken face sculpt, as he uses the Romeo face sculpt, which was originally designed for the European exclusive Prince Ken doll that not everybody was able to get, but if you were unable to get him, this would be another great opportunity to own that face sculpt. Now, he does come wearing some glasses, which makes it a lot harder to pick out, you know, wonkai, and they are secured to his head very, very carefully. Like, oh my god, they did not want these glasses to come off, but they will now, because I want to look and see just how bad. Ooh, actually, I would be really disappointed if I hadn't bought two more of him, because his eyes are definitely favoring one side of his face in this instance. It is a different screening than the original one came with. Actually, let me see if I can get my Romeo so we can do a comparison. So here is the original Romeo beside the newer version of him, same exact face sculpt, but yeah, the screening is different. You can see that the new version does not have the lower eyelashes. Also, his uh, catch lights in his eyes are in a completely different position, and the eyebrows are not painted as wide as the original version of the sculpt. So it is a new screening. The skin tone is very similar though, which is a little bit disappointing. I'd love to see this face sculpt in the Barbie Fashionistas, just with a more unique skin tone. This guy's hair is of course painted solid black, and the outfit that he comes with a actually short sleeve white shirt. And I really, really love that they included the sleeves in this. I was really expecting it to be just cut off at the shoulders, but they actually did include sleeves on this. This is a really nice piece to have, just as like an undershirt for any Ken restyles that you may be doing. And he comes with this really, really cool jacket. The jacket, though, unfortunately, a lot of the details on it are painted on, and it does not have the same finishing on the collar or anything that the other guy came with. It does have these very strange pockets with this metallic decal material that is, I guess, stamped onto this material. It's a really strange looking jacket. It's a really specific piece that was made just for this character. So I don't know how well it will work in like casual Barbie restyles, but I am also noticing the sleeves also have this studded decal, and the shoulders also have this almost military looking decal up at the top. He comes with some simple black pants, and also he comes with some just plain Ken sneakers. Actually, they do share the exact same shoe sculpt, though this guy for some reason did not get any painted detail. Even though the guys are exclusive to this multi-pack set, it still feels like they got less care put into them than the female dolls. But that was my review of Mattel's new Rebelde dolls. Let me know, have you seen this series? And if so, what do you think of it? I mean, maybe in the future I will end up checking it out, like in the future whenever I'm rich and I have all the free time in the world to be watching TV shows and not creating stuff or recording video, you know. When I don't have to work a full-time job, maybe maybe I'll check it out. I mean, even if you haven't seen the show, which doll in the set is your favorite? Because mine is definitely Roberta. You know, I guess in this case we should be calling this the Anna face sculpt instead of the Laura face sculpt, because that face sculpt was originally created for the Generation Girl doll line in the early 2000s, right around the time when these Rebelde dolls originally first came out. And everybody forgets about Anna. She was Barbie's Mexican friend in the Generation Girl line, and Laura was created a lot more. I think they only released 2 versions of Anna, but Laura got a lot more dolls than Anna did. And Laura was actually French, so Anna and Laura shared the same face sculpt, just like Chelsea and Tori, though sadly not many people remember Barbie's Mexican friend Anna, and this head sculpt is officially called the Laura face sculpt. Though because Roberta and Anna are both Latinas, I think in this case it would be more appropriate to say that she uses the Anna face sculpt. Now, because I'm a little bit behind on my Barbie reviews, I figured that I would go ahead and include this review at the end of this video. I guess I really don't want to make a whole video dedicated to just this doll, and I don't know where else to put it. So for those of you that wanted a longer Barbie SUBF episode, well, here you go. So I will also be looking at the Barbie Style by Design series doll. This is the one that was designed by Suam No, and she, I know, has worked in Barbie Playline before, and this is a new Barbie collector series, a new Barbie signature series that retails at $100 a piece. And do I feel like these dolls are worth $100? Not so far. Like this one, I'm gonna go ahead and start off by saying I have a lot of issues with this particular design. The spoiler warning, I am not 100% satisfied with this doll. And the main reason why I decided to get this one is because I really regret not getting the Bob Mackie Holiday Angel Barbie, the first one that came out the year before last, I believe. The one with the Claudette face sculpt, because I loved that version of Claudette, and I don't have a Claudette in that skin tone. I loved her facial screening. I love the glitter eyeshadow. And this one also uses the Claudette face sculpt. And I just kind of bought her just to sort of, like, I don't know. I didn't want to miss out on another white Claudette Barbie. But I will admit, even after seeing her in person, I still don't like her as much as the Bob Mackie Holiday Angel. So I'll forever be regretting not getting that original doll, but I just didn't have the money at the time. But I did have the money to pick this one up, even though I had issues with it because the original one that I received from Mattel had really bad wonk eye. And I already didn't feel like this doll was worth $100, so for her to also have wonk eye, I mean, come on. But this is the replacement that Mattel sent me, and it actually does have a little bit of a better screening. Not 100%, but it's better than it was before. And starting off, I want to talk about the packaging. Now, what do you notice about this packaging? Because to me, it feels like there's a lot of empty space here. Like, why is this box so big? Like, what is all of this nothingness here? It feels like, honestly, the box was just so big, they wanted to feel like you were getting a lot more than you really were. Things that could have made this doll worth $100 to me. Number one thing is a second outfit. They could have, I mean, there's plenty of room in this box to include a second outfit. Of course, she doesn't come with any articulation, like at least the pivotal model Muse body they could have included on her. More hairstyling, I would have loved that, because you can see she just has this really simple, like, slick back hairstyle. And I mean, yeah, you could say that was a creative choice, but it's also a really cheap choice. I haven't even opened her out of the box yet, and I'm already complaining. That's not a good sign. But here is the back of the box, and it does have the original designer illustration by Suam No, and it does say, Style by Design. With a premium design and high fashion aesthetic, the Style by Design series celebrates the personal and professional inspirations of Barbie signature designers and creators. Suam No brings to life the ephemeral fashion illustrations of the 1970s with a look that captures the exaggerated style and innovation that defined the fashion-forward decade. Barbie doll is sensational in a bright pink satin dress with gathered sides and a glaring asymmetrical train, evoking the big look of the decade. An oversized bow gives the volume and drama in bold red and orange, with ribbons cascading to the floor in surreal glamour. Gathered black gloves and stiletto boots sharpen the dynamic aesthetic, while her sleek hair and rhinestone accessories blend femininity and edge. In a look that reflects the artistic expression of the time, Barbie serves nostalgia with a modern and elegant flair. But let's go ahead and get her out of the packaging so that I can complain more. I really need to learn just to not buy things sometimes. Like, I haven't got the new Ken Couture doll yet for that exact reason. Like, I'm already disappointed just by looking at the damn images on the website. Like, why would I want to buy the doll? But I kind of want him because he uses the Tate face sculpt, and I actually already have every other version of that face sculpt in my collection. Plus, I feel like I could definitely use his clothes on something, so I'll probably end up getting him eventually too. So here is the first Styled by a Series Barbie doll straight out of her packaging. She does, of course, use the Claudette face sculpt from the Harlem Theater collection. She does have a unique facial screening that has never been used before on Claudette, though I don't like it as much as the Bob Mackie facial screening, but it is very beautiful. I love her thick, dark eyeliner and the dark eyeshadow and the highlights above the eyeshadow. I love the dark mauve-ish lipstick color as well. It's so cool. And also the reflective highlight on the edge of her brow and the brow shape. They're so sharp. She also has green eyes. I believe that the Bob Mackie Claudette also had green eyes as well. So it's a beautiful facial screening. Though I still think one day I'll probably end up caving and buying the Bob Mackie Claudette from a reseller. Also, she comes with this long blonde saran hair that is actually very similar to the saran hair that was used on this Lena. I think that the uh, darker blonde shade is actually like the exact same shade of Saran. So that's interesting. I did mention earlier that she does not have any sort of hairstyling, like nothing at all. It's just completely flat. And I just don't like this look on a collector doll. I just feel like it's just a very cheap look. I know Mattel's always looking to cut corners, so they'll be like, "Oh, she has a sleek back hairstyle, like that's part of the design." I'm like, y'all have given some extravagant shit in the past, and this just seems lazy to me. Like even the Rebelde dolls that I just looked at had more hairstyling than this girl does. Though she does have a middle parting down the center, so I believe what I'll end up doing is because she does have some hair gel holding this sleek back style back, I'll probably end up washing that out and like giving her a boil wash so that she can just have a regular middle part. Um, but she also does have some blushing on her cheeks that I'm noticing. And I do really like the jewelry that she comes with, like these dangly rhinestone earrings and this rhinestone necklace, which does not have any sort of way to take it off. So you'll literally have to decapitate her in order to use this jewelry on something else. And like I mentioned before, no articulation on this $100 Barbie doll, even though we get Moss Try dolls for less than 20 bucks that have full articulation. Can't get that in Collector Barbie for whatever reason. She does come with these long fabric gloves on her arms, which I think are really cool. Don't know how well these are going to fit on regular Barbie, considering that this one is specifically bent for the Muse arm. She does also have a manicure, some red colored nails, and also she does have a pedicure for her feet that you can see because this shoe sculpt does have a cutout on the front. And these shoes are actually fabric. They're a black pleather material. Little bit worried about how they will age. Materials like this break down over time, so I don't know how valuable I see this whenever I know it's not an immortal thing like these shoes that came with the Rebelde dolls, which I was perfectly fine with them being completely sculpted, because I know that this will not break down over time, but this will. So this is like a ticking time bomb to me, and that's another issue that I have with it. Though the bottom part of the shoe is actually plastic, and I like them, and I'll like them for the first 10 years that I have them before they do start breaking down. Her dress is actually super simple, like this front part of it. It is gathered a little bit, and it's made out of a very beautiful satin pink material with this big bow that was advertised on the back in pink and red and orange. I hate to say it, but this is just really disappointing for me for the first doll in the series. Like, both this and the Ken Couture doll line, I feel like they should have started out a lot harder than what they ended up doing. Though Carlisle is going to be designing the second doll in this series, which can either be a really good thing or a really bad thing. And it's going to be interesting no matter what it is because it's Carlisle. And at least I know with him, he's going to have her with a really cool face sculpt. So I'm excited to see what he comes up with regardless. I'm trying to look and see if this bow is removable, which it does not look like it is. It is actually sewn to the back of this dress. The dress is, it's got these plastic clasps, but the bow is non-removable. And without the bow, I mean, it's just like a simple dress. I guess I could use it, but it doesn't feel like a collector doll. Am I wrong to think that? I mean, the only thing that I would say on this doll is worthy of like the collector name, like the Barbie signature label, is the rhinestone jewelry. Like that's probably the most expensive part about this doll. Everything else just feels like she should have been like maybe $60. Like $100 is a lot for this when they've given us lace and hairstyling and fishnets and all kinds of shit in the past, especially when other doll lines by Mattel are getting so much more detail and quality for a quarter of the price. This just doesn't feel worth it. I mean, her body isn't silkstone either. Again, it's just the same plastic quality as regular Barbie dolls. Something's got to change at Mattel eventually because they cannot keep collectors buying this crap. The generation of collectors that would just keep dolls in box and shut up and not complain and nitpick is going away. Like, they are not going to last forever. And progressively, there are going to be more and more and more collectors that get on here and say, we want more. Because we know you all can give more, and you all have given more in the past. And more importantly, speaking with their wallet and not buying this. Because this doll never sold out. The Ken Couture Barbie never sold out. Like, all these Barbie signature releases are flopping, and eventually they're gonna have to make some changes, and hopefully those changes will make us feel like we're getting our money's worth. But as it is right now, I'm not 100% happy with the state of Barbie signature, apart from Barbie looks, of course. But that's all I had for today's video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoy this content to help me out in the algorithm, and I'll see you all on the next one. Thank you so much. Bye.